Today we woke up with the announcement of another war starting in our beautiful planet. So maybe this conversation is even more meaningful as we are here with those whose only weapons have been words. As the Zapatistas also taught us, the palabras is the words are the only weapons we will use. And these are friends who have been weaving peace, weaving communities, even when their own place has been obliterated and put in condition of erasure. We all know we will not lose time by reiterating what's happening over there, but just a few principles that moved us to organize this conversation, which are the principles that the Ecoversity Alliance also organized through, which is learning in solidarity and learning with peace. So today we gather these friends who are long-time friends of the Ecoversity to try to reason together and to understand how through poetry we can maybe find a way to name, to reclaim, to reject and refuse a culture of violence and instead affirm a culture of life. I wrote just a few lines to introduce the conversation and why poetry is a place of resistance, and then I will leave the space for the sake of the time that we have to the conversation to flow between our guests and all of you who join here. So I wrote, as Gaza became unspeakable, a whisper buried under layers of denialism, censorship, oblivion, disavowing the erasure of an entire people as the world looks on, we turn to poets as truth tellers. Amid death, terror, famine, and the collapse of existence in all its forms, they rise to scream at us, seeking to rescue what remains of our humanity. They come to voice, crying out from under the rubble. They write, enduring pain, despair, loss, sickness, trauma, perpetual displacement. They write from tents, collapsed homes, destroyed streets, dried fields, deprived hospitals, improvised classrooms. They write for survival, despite the world abandoning them. They write from exile. They had burned their books to make a fire. They write. They buried their beloved ones. They write. They edit. They curate series. They continue to nourish an ecology of publication rooted in resistance. Through their wheels, diaries, and testimonies, we are invited to hold their lives, stolen from them, and bear witness. With this word, I invite you to take the floor and share with us.
Thank you, Alain. Thank you so much for this words. Hey everyone, thank you Ecoversities and everyone for creating this conference and this talking between us, and thank you for having us, and for everyone here in this room, thank you for coming. My name is Mahmoud Al-Sha'ar. I am a writer, culture activism, come from Gaza. And since 4 months now, I am in Madrid, Spain. evacuated by the government through the World Health Organization. And yeah, that's it. I will give the mic to Ahmed and Saleh to introduce themselves.
Mm, okay, Ahmed would like to go.
Okay, hello everyone. The first thing I want to say that I'm happy to see Mahmoud and Saleh and Ali. I'm Ahmed Saleh. I'm a Palestinian writer from Gaza. I left Gaza 3 months before October 7, and I'm living in Brussels now. Um, as exiles, and I'm working on the International House of Literature. Yeah, just it. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad for this moment to be here with this context of reimagining education. So I'm not sure who I am now. So I am Saleh Abu Shammale, and I'm a refugee rooted in Beddaras village and displaced to Gaza, then a refugee in the UK, based in London nowadays. And for what I'm doing, I can say I can see myself as a Palestinian commoner, cultivators, or a peasants for those ancestors. Most of my last practicing is about those learning in proximity and looking and digging on those soil of the language. Like I walked away from that system maybe 10 years ago in that peak of technical context in my life. Then I start to recognize that my grandfather has that language I never could use or could live with my beloved people around. So from that age, I start to dig after my language again. So I can see I'm looking after a peasant's lexicon nowadays, and that what I will talk about in this circle. Thank you.
Yeah. I will go now to read some of my poems in Arabic, of course, but I will share my screen and you can see the English version. And this poems wrote him in 9 of September 2025, before 1 month of my evacuation. Yeah, you can see my screen now, yes?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, okay. هل ترى ما نحن فيه؟ مواصي خان يونس، قطاع غزة، 9 سبتمبر 2025. هل ترى ما نحن فيه؟ تتساقط معالم المدينة، إنه الخريف مجددا، الناس تصرخ في الطرق، لكن الطرق توقفت وقطعت الأصوات، نحن محاصرون، إنه سبتمبر مجددا، لقد هلكت مدينتي، نحن محاصرون، لا أعرف كيفية إصلاح الوقت ولا كيف أفتح الباب، لا يوجد وقت لنا ولا يوجد مساحة. هل ترى ما نحن فيه؟ ذاته الغبار من أثر القصف، ذاتها السحابات خلف الآليات والجنود، الأرض تبكي، لن يأتي أحد ليوقف هدم البيوت، ليوقف رصاص القناصة والدبابات، ليوقف الغارات، ليوقف الحرب. الجروح تزداد حجما بينما نبحث عن مكان جديد في حياتنا اللاجئة. انظر إلى أعيننا ستراه، الألم العميق. إنني أحاول جاهدا أن أتذكر، أن أروي حكاية لا تفيض دما. الأرض فقدت سماءها، السماء انفصلت عن أرضها، لا أرض لي ولا سماء. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna share my poem in the chat because I don't know how can I share it here. Thank you, Mahmoud. Just one moment.
Okay. I shared the text for everyone until Ahmed got his.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mahmoud.
طيب صالح، تحب تقرأ إشي أو تفوت في إشي لأنه أنا مش لاقي عندي هذا.
Yeah.
Do you see my screen, please?
See.
Okay. Uh, this one of my pieces, I wrote it like incrementally during that genocide. Sorry, that genocide chronology, and I'm trying to describe what I'm seeing. And okay, it's about savagery or looking for that savage meaning. So the savage الوحشية كيان خلق من نار، بينما الأصل في الوجود ماء في يد الطين ينبت القمح. التوحش نظام يتقن هندسة الانفجار، مشروع يعيد اختراع الموت ويحول الخراب إلى عقيدة مقدسة، ثم يمنحه أسماء شاعرية. دالت، جاتش، موكيد، سلامة الجليل، تكسير العظام، السور الواقي، أمطار الصيف، الرصاص المصبوب، عمود السحاب، الجرف الصامد، حارس الأسوار، السيوف الحديدية، عربات جدعون، يوم القيامة. أسماء ترتدي القداسة وتخفي تحتها جسد ينزف. موت مصمم خصيصا ليقتل، ليسحق ويحرق الإمكان في مصادفة البقاء. ذوبان الماء في المعادلة، تبخر الطين وانكسار النفس. سفر الانفجارة سفر المسافة مع الانفجار، غرق الأرض والبحر والسماء. التوحش ليس نقيض التمدن، بل صورته حين تنتزع قناعها. هو ما يتبقى بعد أن يصلب القانون على بوابة المعابر، وتتحول الأخلاق إلى أخبار عاجلة. هو أن يصبح جسد الطفل الصفحة الأولى والجوع حاشيتها الوحيدة. هو محو الحواس، أن تعيش لون الدم كلون طبيعي في الطيف، أن يكون للموت جدول مواعيد، أن يتحول صراخ أمك إلى ضجيج مألوف، وأن يصبح الحصار مكافأتك لأنك لم تقتل بعد.
Okay, I think I have a technical problem, but I share it with you, Alessandro, on WhatsApp if you can just share it. Yeah.
Yes, Ahmed, I will post on the chat, and I also want to say to Andre not to worry about not keeping up with the translation, with the screen being too fast. I think is
Okay.
also
I will share it in the on the chat.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna read one of my
Ahmed,
poems.
1 second, just 1 second.
Yeah.
I think it's good to give a little moment also to absorb and breathe through these words. And yeah, just for Andre to know is also, I think, for everyone very beautiful to listen, even in a language that we don't understand, and then eventually later on take the time to read and to stay with these words that we invite you also to copy and to bring with you. Poetry also need a solitary time and needs to be read and breathed through our own imperfect languages. So it's also an exercise in translation, it's an exercise in what is impossible to translate: an experience of war, an experience of genocide, an experience of living under the bombs. So we will all be patient with these words, and we will all take them inside us, each of us with the time and opening of our heart that they need and they require and they ask from us. So no worry, Ahmed. Also about
Mhm.
your poem, I posted there was a problem with the length of it
Yeah,
in the chat.
I'm sorry, but
And
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's the problem here, so I cannot also share my screen. Okay, I'm gonna read one of my poem. I wrote it in 2024, and in Sharl camp, at the time when my family was forced to live in a street in a tent. This poem was translated by Fatma al-Hashimi. Remember that I was a good man قبل أن تدق نواقيس المآتم. افتحوا الأبواب برفق كي لا توقظوا ذئاب وحدتي. وتذكروا أنني كنت رجلا طيبا يحفظ الجنائز في صدره ويكتب شعرا رديئا كلما عانده الحظ بالبكاء. نحن أبناء الجور نمشي بعيون غارقة من فرط ما رقبنا عيون البحارة وبحثنا عن استغاثات. لو أننا نظرنا إلى يأسنا أصغينا للأغنيات فقط بضع دقائق قبل الكارثة لكان الأفق أكثر رحابة ولمات الجوع في شوارعنا. كان لي اسم آخر غير الذي تعرفونه، حياة مهددة بالتناسل تحلم بالعيش على اليابسة، أطل عليها كراع بعصا واحدة في حقل ضيق حدوده جسد منكوب تفوح منه رائحة الحرائق. قبل أن يطلقوا علي تهمة الحياة ويشرعوا في نسج سيرتي الذاتية، تذكروا أنني كنت ذبيحا مشردا على أرصفة اللجوء الذليلة أنتظر من يتصدق علي بقبلة ووطن بديل. لكن صدقوهم إذا دقت أجراس المآتم وقالوا أنه بلا هوية ستعرفون أنني كنت رجلا طيبا. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. I don't know if anyone from the French join want to comment on something or reflect on some of these words that have been shared, or have questions for our friends here and what they do, how this act of writing has been for you an act of resistance and re-existence, how you have continued to weave your communities together through the pages you publish, through the connection of those that have been supporting your publications. And maybe someone wants to speak about this.
I would like to speak about the language, not about the publishing, especially from this moment, and as one of the most important lessons I learned during this time, to be in a present or to live with the moment of now, like, because I can't handle anything about the future, and nothing from the past could help. So from that moment, to be in context of understanding, describing, explore, like, this feeling need a kind of language to express it at some point. But this dictionary we used to learn in those school, it wasn't listed those synonyms, those words could explain those feeling. And on that moment, on this dark light came to the edge on our life during this genocide, I felt how it's close for my grandfather as an experience of pain when he faced that Nakba in 1948, as a person who was born without any letter to tell about his birthday. But for some reason, a person came to his land and start to put this enclosure to his life, and to start to title him on some document. So that documentation, when that documentation came to our life as a dictionary of fear and hate, that point where all of this start, and that was the trace led us to not today, nowadays, for this savage edition of life. When a person lead a project, came to title a nation with this deep roots in this land, with unhuman, like we are on that description as an animal, unhuman. And based on that, they practice everything of that brutality and that this savagery to our roots. Back, like going back to my grandfather, for the first document, they used to issue a birthday letter for him, not to sit when he was born, but just to sit how much land he will own from this village before they destroying the common. And that was the main idea of this project. I see Israel all the time as a project. It's not a country. It's not, because in this context that all of us can see this project with those phases of ethnic cleansing for this nation, unrooted those people from their relation with this land, to cut our relation with that trace of the tide. That trace of the tide led all our archive as a Palestinian on this edge. And the second, when they start to eat, to destroying that common, they raise that record. Firstly, in Ottomani regime, they said, or Ottomani occupation, in my point, they found that taboo word, and it's the first time this word to come to the humanity experience life, to be this in this context of ownership the land. And I see it as a trace came from that enclosure start in Britain when they start to push all the people out those farm and take that wall. From that trace, the humanity start this broke in that lexicon. This lexicon was what we lost, the Byzantine lexicon. At the end, if we look back for our soils, for our roots, even if we could be in that relation with the water, with the wind, with the fire, with the soil, in all those contexts, we are far peasants. We are in that stewardship context with this land. We're not owning anything. And in that chronology of the life, when the IDF start to erase, displace, burn those nation, the only one was helping this nation, those people in this land, was the water. The people when they was fleeing and displaced from those home, like the first question was becoming for this minds, they was asking about the water. And if we attracting that, we will find that water being shaping that trace of surviving. When the international law and the development context, that I see it as a context start that poverty on our life just to found a context to develop a new nations and to change. And that was the broke happened for this language and that lose on our lexicon.
Thank you, Salim. Mahmoud or Ahmed, do you want to continue, comment, or bring us somewhere else? And I also saw Maura had maybe a comment of or a question, but I'll give you first a way to have a round between you.
مين محمود تحب تحكي الأول؟ Okay, I mean, I'm agree completely with Saleh about the language, how the displacement, the exile, during genocide change our language. I believe that as a human being, we are just a memory, and we lost this memory. We lost everything. We lost our home. We lost the neighbors. We lost the school. We lost Gallery 28. We lost the warmth language of home. So, I mean, I'm trying during like I'm trying from what I'm doing now in the cultural work on my poems to rebuild a new language, to rebuild a new memory, to rebuild a new archive. To just found the meaning, to just found to just found something to continue. So I'm just I don't know, but um, it's actually a big things to talk about how the genocide shaped our language. I mean, if I'm gonna talk about the tent, or if I'm gonna talk about my nephew who was born in a tent, who lost the language of home, who never touch a walls, who never touch a floor, or who don't know about the TV or 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 the other things. So the language became more has become more harsh, more cold, and lost its humanity. Um, so what we are doing now to not also lose our humanity, to found or to build a new archive. That's also what I'm doing now with a different group of people to uh, to just to just rebuild what we lost during the genocide, to talk or to rebuild also, to talk about the language that was under the siege. Um, so yeah, thank you.
Okay, I want to add something. While Saleh and Ahmed speaking about the language, it's actually two things I wanted to share. The one thing when this genocide is starting and seeing this replacements and people coming from their home to my city, the first 7 months in Rafah, and seeing all these details and having people in my home and seeing the people full every common space, every public space inside Rafah to set up a tent and trying to set up a temporary life inside Rafah. And it was like we imagine like it will be a short time under this war, and we didn't understand at the beginning what happening around us. So I was imagining what happened in 1948 and feeling that me as a Palestinian kid born in 1990, I didn't get the story, the full story from my Palestinian generation, and I didn't actually understand what happened exactly in 1948 until what we're facing during this genocide still happening inside Gaza Strip and inside Palestine. So I feel as a writer, when I noted this, that I didn't get the story from 1948, that I have a new duty to write everything to my son, to my daughter, and our next Palestinian generation. And I feel that even if I didn't feel the meaning inside my language, my words, because everything outside of Gaza agreed to bomb us, to destroy our Palestinian life, and they let the Israel and the army to destroy everything inside Gaza. So the meaning for every words inside me, inside my mind, was going, and I didn't feel nothing, but I need to tell my story and to save it, because I need to tell it to my daughter and to our next generation, what happening. why we leave our homes, why we leave our spaces, why we leave our cities, and what is the condition that we leave our lands under. Because I leave my house 2 times. One, the first time was in May 2024, and I didn't imagine myself back to my home again, but I back in January 2025, and then I leave again in April 2025 after 70 days inside my home again. And many things I write about during this experience, many displacement, many moving inside also Al-Mawasi, and many things happening, the famine, the hunger time, and our feelings when we hear that we lost some family members. I write about everything, and now while I am in Spain, in Madrid, I am back to these things, this noted I write. And I believe that if I didn't write this thing inside this moment, I will forget it. So this is what important to us as a Palestinian now, to save every words, to encourage every youngs, every writer to write and keep writing about what's happening around us. Because I think, again, this is not our language was changed as much as the solidarity and the platforms that we have from outside to publish our words and our poems, our testimonies, our article, our situations outside of Gaza. Because يعني, the most important thing give me the hope while I am inside Gaza Strip before the evacuation, seeing my words here, for example, inside this room, inside many rooms around the world, seeing my words inside a book, inside a magazine, inside a newspaper, and seeing my words between many people inside the street. And many people take these words and keep telling. This thing, I think, what is changing during this genocide, not the language, our Palestinian language, because again, I think that we still using the same language since 1948, but we have a new tools, the solidarity tools. Everyone took awards from Gaza, from Palestinian people, and separated and telling these words. He gave these words the meaning that we missed, that Saleh and Ahmed mentioned about what we missed, that the meaning and the solidarity during this genocide. I think it gave us this meaning that we missed inside our current life and our current situation that we have inside Gaza, and also our families and our people still have it, because the genocide didn't stop since past October 2025. It continues and continues, and the siege still continues and still take the life from the people inside Gaza. Yeah.
Thank you all for your words that are precious and are seeds. Is anyone?
I'd like to speak, if I may. I'm Maura. I have to say, this is so wonderful to see the three of you together, because for these last few years since I've begun to know your work, I pretty much wait for it all the time. I want to hear from you all the time. And speaking of your language, about things for which there are no words, you, even in a second language, I read you in English, I listen to you in Arabic, it's so beautiful, but even in a second language, it's so powerful for words, all of your words. I feel you have brought your world to the rest of us. And I always think about water as I think Saleh said earlier, water is the flowing thing amongst us. And I think of the water that I'm drinking right now was once dinosaurs' tears, or it once nurtured the olive tree of your grandfather. And your words have brought your reality, as cruel as it is and painful as it is to us, and made us feel that we are there with you. We are, and I just hope that you have felt that love coming back at you that is so profound from so many of us here in this circle and elsewhere, that your words have touched so deeply. And I'm just happy to see you all, grateful to you, and send you love.
Thank you, Mara.
Thank you so much.
As a
Thank
son
you.
of the tide, I can see that water will lead this humanity to survive at some point.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Anyone, Daniela?
Maybe
I was
you
happy to
have a
see you here
question.
today.
Yes, breathe.
We didn't hear you, Daniela.
It's because Daniela is an interpreter, so I need to remove her so that we can hear her. Okay, Daniela, you can talk.
I can talk now. I'm so happy to see you. It's really touching. I'm double happy that I was interpreting you, so it felt really. I don't want to cry now, but it's. I had to go through the experience of interpreting and being your voice now into Portuguese was wonderful, and thanks for sharing and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm curious to ask how are you planning to keep with the magazine? What are the website now?
About 28 magazine.
Yeah.
This is like mixed between that. It was like my personal life before this genocide inside a common space, 28 magazine. And it was like all my time is like keep thinking about the common spaces. How can we create more common things between us as a Palestinian people inside Gaza? And I was talking with Saleh about it, how much I feel that this genocide keep me close to myself and back me to with my self tools, the writing, and it was like I feel that this genocide cutting the common ways thinking, and during this 2 years I speak again about my personal experience during this 2 years under inside Gaza Strip, and being with my self tools again. I find myself here in Europe since I think 2 months and a half. Keep thinking about how can catch a point to start again, and brings many idea, and keep working about 28 magazine and this common space. But I am trying again to have this collaboration with other platforms from outside to publish more articles and Palestinian artworks outside of Gaza, because we think that the platform inside now is fully destroyed. The inside, actually, not our platform, but all the inside fully destroyed. And we think that we need to deliver the Palestinian culture work and allow it to use other platform from outside of our space, because it will be like one goal, publishing and keep working, and the 2 points is like save it from other destroyed moment, because now we publish as a 28 magazine common issue with Arablit, Gaza in 2024, and then we published the book Letter from Gaza with the Bingun House. And I published my personal book in English, and this is my first time to publish in English. So I feel like this genocide give us this ability to feel this solidarity lines and use it, and this give us many strong women moment to courage to encourage me to continue work and continue thinking about more collectives and more works to show the Palestinian writers again outside of Gaza. So I hope that I answer your question, Daniel.
أليساندرا بتسألك إذا فيك تشارك إشي من الكتاب تبعك على الشات عندهم، على الشات إذا في لينك أو إشي ناس ممكن تصله.
Yeah, okay, of course.
Maybe, Ahmed, you can speak about Rila and how this project somehow started, also a bit out of a connection we started within the university's publication, and then you were incredibly and potently able to find other support and create this platform.
I'm gonna also share the link of Rihla magazine in the chat, so they can read more about it. And we have also the second issue of the magazine. It's in the websites online. It's free. And the second issue will be in April. I mean, I create Rihla in the beginning just to give the exiles artists the space to show their work, to talk about their experience, because many of them, I'm actually one of them. I was one of them until the late fed me, the fat led me doors called Pasaporta. So I create this project for the exiles who don't have networks or space, and they have creative tools, and no one know about them. And then I was thinking just for events, and then it became a magazine. We get the support from the International House of Literature, The first issue is about the exile and identity. We have their opinion articles, poems, stories, and other things. And the second issue will be about the home. What does mean home? It's a global, actually. In the beginning, I was thinking to just keep it for the Palestinian or the exiles, but then it became global because it's also I wanna discover the open geography of Europe, because I mean the Arabian they a lot of them they don't have roots of their homes, so I would just wanna discover the things, how they think about their home. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, so if there's anyone interesting to know more about it.
Thank you so much. This will be very important for us to continue to read you, to support your work, to try to find a language that can allow all of us to remember. And as we speak about words, I always love how many decolonial thinkers helped us to think remembering as a way to remember, to put our member back. And as members, we are all members of this larger community. And I was thinking when Mahmoud, you spoke about how one of the lessons of this hard time of genocide has been understanding the meaning of solidarity. I want to say that we have learned solidarity through Palestine. I think you've been teaching us this word. And I was recently, I discovered that this word means one etymology of the word. Some people think it comes from giving soul, solidar, to give the sun, to give light, from a Latin word. So I want to maybe, as I see our time being already used up, I want to maybe close with this word that you have taught us with your constant work and with this effort to find words, as you said in your poem, Mahmoud, that would not necessarily spill into blood, but as a way to rebuild our connections and our interdependence, and show us way to become better ancestors and better animals together. I thank you very much. I encourage everyone to find these books, to find these words of wisdom and resistance, and continue the dialogue with our friends through their work, to support their work, because their work also support other families, other artists, other cultural practitioners and educators. Mohammed, who could not be with us, actually is someone who's in Gaza. He has started a school in the tents and is tending to children, and this work of finding back a language, he's still doing it every day in the unbearable conditions. So I also invite all of you to visit the solidarity pages in our Ecoversity's website, and to find a way to support those who are still working and learning in solidarity. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the translators here. And I hope we can organize other conversation.
Maybe next time with Muhammad Zagzoug.
We did,
Inshallah, outside.
many others.
Inshallah.